Hey there, everyone. I am Jennifer Edwards, coming to you live from my driveway in Sayreville, New Jersey, the quietest place in my house because it's not in my house. So anyway, I'm going to make this hopefully short and sweet today, but you know, I have to move it along because I do have kids and husband's not home yet. So I'm sitting in the driveway. I have my crown on. This is a filter, by the way, but like I like it so much that I may just keep it on for the entire life. We'll see how it goes. Hey, Loretta. So anyway, could you do me a favor? Drop down in the comments where you're viewing from, where you're catching, where you're tuning in from, and if you're catching the live, if you're catching me live. I don't know why I'm stumbling over my words today. If you're catching me live, drop a 1 in the comments. If you're catching the replay, drop a 2. And please drop a new in the comments if this is the first time you're ever catching me, catching one of my lives. So I wanted to talk today about self-care. There's a lot of talk about this these days, and I think it's just because everyone's world is so much crazier and busier than it's ever been. All of our electronic leashes kind of keep us on 24/7 and accessible to everybody. And so we're going to talk a little bit about self-care. What is it? How to get it? What your goal should be? And well, we'll get into that. But anyway, so have you ever been asked what you do to pamper yourself, or to relax, or, you know, to take care of yourself, and then been lost for words? I know there's a direct sales company out there that if you see them live, you know, like at a vendor show or something, sometimes they'll ask you, what have you done lately to pamper yourself, or how do you pamper yourself? And you know what? I'm lost. Okay, so I mean, lately I've changed a few things, but for the most part, no one really has a good answer to that because we don't take care of ourselves. We take care of everybody else. So most of us spend all of our time working, trying to earn money. Thanks, Tiff. Hey, Melissa. So we spend most of our time working or taking care of our families, or you know, helping to support others with like their mental, physical, emotional health. Mostly our kids, right? If we're moms, and you know, it's like we put our own mental, emotional, and physical health on the back burner while we're taking care of everybody else. For when there's time, when we have energy to take care of that stuff, when we have energy to focus on it, that's kind of what we wait for. And so a lot of times, you know, we're last on the list. And is that you? Let me know. If you know, if that's you, drop a 3 in the comments. I've personally put off mammograms. I've put off my annual physicals. I've put off massages, as you probably know. I've put off exercise, and one of my favorite things in the whole world to do is craft. Gosh, I don't even know the last time I did it. So I made an ornament for my kid last night. Literally 2 minutes. Okay, all I did was take out a paint marker and write on Days Until Christmas. That's about the extent of my crafting. And I am a scrapbooker. I have scrapbooks out the wazoo. I have scrapbook supplies out the wazoo, and I have not scrapbooked since I was pregnant with Nolan. So almost 4 years. Okay, so I have a lot of catching up to do, and I was only in 2010 back then. So my middle child and my last child are not even in scrapbooks. So that's how far back I need to go to catch up. So anyway, just mentioning that. Can you relate to any of this? Okay, drop a 4 in the comments if you do. So I'm not going to go into suggestions for how to take care of yourself in this live. I plan to do another one probably on Friday, and we'll talk a little bit about that. But if this is you, okay, it's really time for you to start practicing more self-care. So what is self-care? Like I said, everybody's talking about it, but no one really describes what it is, and everyone kind of thinks that it's one of these, you know, fluffy, wonderful reward kind of things to do for yourself. And the truth of the matter is that it's really not. one of the coolest things I read today was self-care is not a reward. It's part of the process. So it's part of your living process. It's not just a reward for doing a good job, taking care of everyone else, getting everything else done before you do this. It's critical to your survival, basically. Okay, so what is self-care? Any activity that we do deliberately to take care of our own mental, emotional, spiritual, and physical health. Okay, so that's simple in theory. Obviously, it's often overlooked. We do leave it for last. But good self-care will improve your mood. It'll improve your relationships with others and even yourself. It'll reduce stress. It'll reduce anxiety. I mean, like, this is all of my problems for the world to know about. This is everything. So, whoa, hello. It's kind of important. It's really important to do this and take care of yourself. Okay, so what is not self-care? Self-care is not anything that you force yourself to do or something you don't enjoy doing. And that's, really important to know what you don't enjoy doing and what you feel like you have to force yourself to do, because that's not self-care. Self-care, so mind you, one of my self-care items, just a side note, one of them is working out. The interesting thing about working out for me, I would put that on the list of things that I have to force myself to do and that I don't really enjoy doing. But the thing is that I feel so good afterwards that it's hard to not enjoy the process. So I know that I do. So anyway, that's going to go on my list. But self-care refuels us rather than takes from us. I am an introvert. I need alone time. That refuels me. So I need to make sure I do that. And I've been taking that. And probably to the detriment of my relationships, because I've been wanting to hide from everybody and take long baths and things like that. But that's part of self-care too. So it's not selfish, because it is what we need to refuel and gives us the energy to help take care of others and everything. It's inherently not selfish to do it. It's not only about considering our own needs, but it's also about knowing what we need to do to take care of ourselves in order to take care of others. So if you're taking care of children, you're taking care of an aging parent or grandparent or, family member, or just working super hard, it's important to remember yourself in that process. If you don't take care of yourself, how are you really going to take care of others? And this is where that whole, oxygen mask analogy on an airplane comes into play. If you're not taking care of yourself first, you're not going to be around to take care of others. And I do have a lot of friends, who tell me all the time that their stress from their family situation has led to them becoming ill over time. And, kind of like some of my friends have been going through cancer and getting chemotherapy and that kind of stuff. All of that, they feel like it came from their lack of self-care. Not taking care of themselves over time, not taking care of what they needed and putting their family first. And yes, you want to put your family first, you want to put your kids first, but not, don't neglect yourself in the process. Okay, so moving on, let's get to the 3 golden rules of self-care. Okay, number 1, stick to the basics, the things you know you need. Over time, you'll find your own routine. You'll implement more specific forms of self-care that really work for you, but know what your bare minimums are. Like I said, I need time alone to recharge. I need exercise for like my mental health. I need to do it. And gosh, you know what? Like, I sit on the couch so much. I work, I sit on the computer. Everything I do, I feel lately, is online and on the computer, and I don't move. And it's hurting my body, and also like kind of ruining my mind, if that makes sense. Like, it's kind of wearing it down. So exercise is important. So daily exercise. Believe it or not, I've actually been an exerciser during certain periods of my life, like where I literally worked out 5 days a week. It hasn't happened really since I've been a parent, but I did do this. I did do it at work actually while I was a parent. When I worked in New York, we had a gym in the building, so that was easy. I could just escape. But now that I'm home, it's harder to escape the work in order to do that, right? So anyway, when you exercise, you get endorphins, you sleep better, cut stress. I know this. Why am I not doing it? Because I don't make time for myself. So there you go, okay? I want to be a little bit more proactive when it comes to like doctors. It's on my list to check out a fundamental doctor who does fundamental medicine. Basically, they check like hormones. They do a lot of blood work. You can fix so much that I feel, might be off for me. They work on nutrition and like what minerals you're missing and your acid balance in your body, things like that. Where I want to work on eating better, following like my weight management program that I've been following, so I have more level energy, eating right, and not craving the wrong things, and whatever, and meditation, and like I said, crafts and things like that. So anyway, step number 2, besides the basics you need, which was 1, number 2 is you want to make sure that self-care is something you actively plan rather than just making it happen. So you want to make sure you add it to your calendar. If you want to work out, add that to your calendar. I'm adding monthly massages back onto my calendar. I just came from a massage. By the way, I feel amazing. I have not had a massage in probably 18 months. No, probably more like 12. Okay. Like 12 months since I had a massage. I went to this guy today, which was a little weird. I thought it was going to be weird that I had a guy massage me, but it was actually really nice. And I had knots on knots on knots that I had no idea I had. In very interesting places, but that's okay. I did not get any happy endings. Oh boy. Okay, this is going off track. But anyway, I'm doing monthly massages from now on. My company gave me 6 months of massages as an incentive that I hadn't used. So I started those now. My husband gave me one for my birthday in January. I didn't use. I'm so terrible about putting this stuff on the back burner. This is what I'm talking about. Okay, so I am planning it. It's on the calendar. I'm now planned month ahead for massages. 1 day a week of exercise. Will up it if I can, but I'm definitely scheduling my 1 day just to make sure that happens. Every Sunday I'll make sure it's on the calendar. It's an active choice to be made, and and putting it out there like this. Yes, I'm putting it out to the world probably more than the average person would, but it's to increase your commitment level, right? So, and then you actively have to look for opportunities to practice your self-care, okay? And then third golden rule of self-care is to keep a conscious mind. So if you start feeling like something that you're doing is no longer self-care, or you're not enjoying it or looking forward to it, or it's not doing the job that you're looking for, step away from it, reevaluate it, do something else, maybe try to roll at something else. If you don't see it as self-care or do something to take care of yourself, it won't work as self-care. So super important. Be aware of what you do, why you do it, how it feels, and what the results are and the outcomes. And then go from there to determine what you decide to do going forward. Okay, so what do you think? I know I did a lot of talking. I didn't do a lot of question asking, but was this helpful? Do you have any ideas for how you may go forward with taking better care of yourself, why it's important? If you found value, please feel free to share my video with somebody, or on your timeline, or with someone you think could find value in this. Maybe a wife. Maybe your wife is not taking time out for herself. Maybe your husband isn't taking time out for himself. Maybe he's working and working and working, and you're worried about it, right? If you found value, please share. What are some ways that you're going to start practicing self-care? Drop them in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. Like I said, next live, I plan to share some additional ideas for practicing self-care. And I'm aiming for Friday. Tomorrow's a very busy day. I am going to the pediatrician, and then we have like, you know, child family team meetings here and all that other crazy stuff. So I'm aiming for Friday at this point. But I'd love to hear your ideas. So drop some ideas that you may have, that maybe you got some ideas from this in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. And thank you so much for watching. I hope you found it helpful. Have a good day, guys. Bye.